Hey folks, thanks for tuning back into the Colonial Airstream channel. Joe Welch is here and we are back with another service tech tip video. So you're driving along and all of a sudden you feel your RV kind of dragging. You maybe heard a bang or your tire indicator light is turned on. Well, don't panic, because today I'm going to show you to easily and properly change a tire on your interstate or Class B camper van. Are you ready? Let's go. First step in changing a tire on your Airstream Interstate or RV is to find a safe and level location. So whether that's on the side of the road or in a Walmart parking lot, this means that the ground is going to be stable and flat enough to support the weight of the jack in your RV. If you're on a slope, you should use wheel chocks to prevent the RV from rolling or sliding in place. Let's start by gathering the tools that we're going to need for the job. This might include things like an impact driver, a breaker bar, and a lug set, but if you don't have those things, it's good to know that on the majority of Airstream Interstates, if you come to the passenger side front compartment right underneath your floor mat, you're going to have this tool icon and either a click wheel or some type of mechanism to disengage and pull away this panel. And underneath this panel, you're going to find not only a set of tools, but a bottle jack actually rated for the vehicle. So right here in the front compartment, you're going to have a jack if you don't have one, in a back storage on the road coming with you. And you're going to have all the tools you need to take off the tire. Today we're actually working on a 2019 Airstream Interstate that's actually available here at Colonial Airstream. And because it's a 2019, it has a spare tire mounted under the rear. A lot of the new Interstates won't have that spare tire, but we actually offer a solution with a rear mounted rack that can hold a spare tire if you choose to option one. So on this 2019, we actually have two clips in the bumper down here that we're going to have to actually pull up these little guys with the flat head in our toolkit. And then we can go back in our toolkit, take out our socket and our socket wrench. And this is actually perfectly going to fit these bolts. We're going to go ahead and loosen up. And these are going to disengage hooks that are actually holding up our spare tire carrier underneath. So I got to bring these down low enough that I can move the hook out of the way, push our crate back, and drop that spare tire. So underneath the rear of your Interstate, you'll find your spare tire and spare tire carrier. On each side, we have these hooks that we're actually going to push the tire carrier up and move the hook out of the way to drop down the carrier. And those hooks are attached to our bolts up top. And I'd always recommend putting something underneath the tire carrier just to kind of brace it when you first start bringing it down, because it will drop nice and quick. Now with the spare tire carrier lowered, I can lift and pull my spare out from underneath the coach. We've got a beautiful stainless spare that's going to fit on the front as well as in each position on the dualies in the rear. The first thing we're going to have to do here is remove our lug caps, just like that. And once they're out of your way, we can go ahead and break loose our lugs up front here. So once again in our toolkit, we have a breaker bar-esque tire iron, and I'm just going to loosen each one of these guys before I jack up the vehicle. So underneath the front of our Interstate here, because our passenger side wheel is going to get jacked up, we want to locate the frame somewhere that we're not lifting any suspension parts. So I'm going to either use the frame rail here or go in the center of the plate for the passenger side wheel. And I'm going to assemble my bottle jack from the kit by clicking in our rods here. And then that's actually going to serve as our pump. Now that we have our tire jacked up, we can take our socket wrench again and take off our lugs. And once all our lugs are removed, we can swap out the tire. Now that we have the tire off, we can take our spare and go ahead and get that onto our front axle. So what we're doing here is we're going to get the tire just in front, and then we like to get our feet underneath the corners of the tire so we can actually use our toes to lift up this tire a little bit and line up these lugs here. Once we've done that, we're mounting our lug nuts. One item I would recommend to carry is a torque wrench. So a torque wrench you can use to make sure that these front wheels, these lug nuts are spec'd to about 140 foot-pounds on each lug. And after I get these on, I'm going to tighten them in a star pattern. going across from each lug, just as that's the best general practice when mounting a tire. Once you get your lugs as tight as you can get them, I'd recommend lowering your jack on the bottle just a little bit to bring the tire down and against the ground to give you some firmness when torquing it. And this is a very affordable torque wrench. This is a Pittsburgh found at Harbor Freight. This goes up to 140 foot-pounds. That is exactly what we need. This, however, is not included in our toolkit here in the Interstate, so I'd recommend getting a torque wrench specifically for your unit. And then we're just setting it at 140, and we're looking for a click like so to show that we've torqued that lug correctly, and we're going to do this to each one in a star pattern again. Our last step is to release the bottle jack and bring our coach back down so we can drive away. In order to do that and show you easily, I brought it out here, and you're just going to twist that knob and pull out your little stopper that goes in the handle for the pumping and to actually lift your jack. And on the opposite side here, we actually have this little pickle fork end that's going to go in the front of our bottle jack. We're going to turn this to our left if we're facing it, and that's going to release that jack mechanism there. After all this is said and done, remove the jack and all your tools and stow those guys away. Don't forget that you can take that flat tire, put that where the spare tire was, and that way you can go somewhere and get it repaired or replaced as soon as possible. You don't want to drive on that spare any longer than you need to. And before we end this video, we would really appreciate everyone smashing that like button and subscribing for more RV content if they haven't yet. Shoot over to our TikTok at Colonial Airstream and RV and give us a follow and help us grow that channel if you'd like. And if you found this video helpful or you have any questions, please leave us a comment below or reach out to us at colonialairstream.com. My name is Joe Welches, and I hope to see you all again in another Colonial Service Tech tip video.